Welcome back to the GSTL. We've got Panic taking taking a loss in game number 1, I should say. Pet, the other P on StarTale, is coming into game number 2, and he will face Patience.
Panic, Pet, and Patience.
Yeah, it's getting a little bit confusing.
Those are the players that we see in the first 4 games, and now we have Pet, the Zerg player for Team StarTale, going up against Patience, a former Prime player, another P right there, who's now playing for AZUBU. And once more, Protoss versus Zerg. This time the roles are reversed though. And it's going to be quite interesting to see, because like both of them are still pretty young, and they do have a limited amount of exposure in like the limelight when it comes to playing in front of a camera.
Yeah. So we can take a look here at the win ranking. With the failure there of Panic in game number 1, he will not actually take any place above Trap. Trap's still taking 2nd place. And Symbol, if he does end up playing today, may advance up in the rankings as well. So a lot of players in that individual ranking possible to play today.
Sleep, of course, with his performance, probably quite happy. Here we have Pet on camera now. And he was doing really well at the last WCS Korea Challenger League qualifier. And then the first round took down Squirtle of all people. So right now we have a situation where we see the young StarTale play in the Challenger League next season. Patience to the right side. He has shown us some really good games in the GSTL in the past, and especially against FXO. And maybe now he is also able to take down the StarTale player. That would bring AZUBU in a 2-0 lead already today.
Yeah. Well, Fruitland is the map, so anything can happen, but so far the fruit curse is real. You take the fruits, you win the game.
Yeah, no lemon, no win.
Yeah. Unless nobody takes the lemons, in which case you could still win. But if your opponent takes the lemon, you lose.
Actually rare that people don't take the lemon these days. We're going into the game, we're going to find out if we see a demonstration once more. We have we have Patience going up against Pet here at the GSTL. Level. Starting to the top right, Team StarTale. We have one of their youngsters. It is
StarTale, Pet.
And Pet, currently the Challenger League player after defeating Squirtle in round 1, is going up against a Protoss player. He's gonna try to eliminate the guy to the bottom left of Fruitland.
AZUBU, Patience.
Maybe we'll see one of the players demonstrate today what you can actually achieve if you take down the lemons on the map and get that extra mineral boost.
Yeah. You know, there's in this matchup a big, in my opinion, a big advantage for the Protoss player to take a 3rd base, because of how the map kind of is. I don't want to say it's small, but 3rd base kind of just sticks out like a sore thumb. And if you're a Protoss, you can take your 3rd base and then attack the Zerg a little bit easier, hold the watchtowers pretty easily as well, if you have that army out. And then once you control the map with the 3rd base, it's hard for the Zerg to take a 4th. Like, where are you going to take a 4th base? In this case for Pet, taking the 4th at the 3 o'clock seems the most attractive. It doesn't look like a very attractive 4th on a map this size. You're also putting yourself pretty close to the lemons.
Yeah. I mean, lemon's the key to victory.
We have a wall at the top of the ramp, so we talked about how that always could mean he's trying to hide something, but so far nobody has done that. It's just an extra layer of safety. Say hi to Santa.
Yep, Santa, our mascot, is here and is once again going for the spraying action, while we have a 3rd base coming up for Pet already. He's
double hatch
straight
before
going
pool.
For exactly the double hatch before pool.
Gar, you should be Santa for Halloween. You know Halloween's around the corner.
I should be Santa?
Yeah, you're good with the afro, man.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, that afro picture is
like,
still around.
You're like buff Santa. It's like Santa, when Santa was your age, man. The Christmas Santa, when he was your age, dude. I bet he didn't look as good as you, man.
I have like weird pictures in my head now.
Like, I don't know what you would look like with a beard. But I mean, if you're the HOT6 Santa, it'd be a different case.
I actually look pretty decent with a beard. Like, I don't know how I would look with a really long white beard, but with a normal one, I look pretty decent. The thing is, like, for some reason, I suddenly have pictures in my head where, like, above Senna, like bare-chested with a machine gun, is running across the town killing zombies. I don't know how that happened, but someone that picture just suddenly appeared in my mind, and I don't know why.
Well,
wasn't that like a Bad Santa movie or something where they actually did that?
Oh yeah, there is something Bad Santa.
No, there is a Bad Santa, but I think this is like a comedy movie, and not really what I was thinking about. But wasn't there like a game, like a video game, like ages ago?
I don't know, but there's Evil Santa from Axe Cop. I think his name is Evil Santa.
Might be, yeah.
Axe Cop is great, by the way. If you haven't seen Axe Cop, go check that out. You'll have a good laugh.
Stargate Tech is what we have here for Patience.
Yeah, Stargate coming up here, and Triple Queen, of course, just trying to get those.
Do you see Mothership Co? Can't decide if he wants to get the strawberries or the grapes.
Yeah, he's going through that kind of process that everybody who respects fruit has to go through. Luckily for me, I don't have that problem.
Yeah, it's like he just doesn't know. I mean, maybe we get another shot of the Mothership Co in just a second. There it is, and he's like, strawberry, no grapes, grapes, strawberry, and oh, the melons to the right side of the screen also tempting it quite a lot. He just can't decide, and I don't blame it. I mean, strawberries in this season are pretty good, but every now and then you just want to have a couple of grapes instead. You're not really in the mood for strawberries, so I don't blame it. It's a tough choice to make.
I'm kind of confused myself, but
I mean, in the end, we all know that on Fruitland it's all about the lemons, so we might see that come into play a little bit later. We've seen it in the last few games, like every now and then, and I feel that the players are just realizing the importance of the lemons are just going to go for them.
Yeah, I mean, if you can take map control and you have a big enough army, like a Terran Bio army or a Protoss Death Ball or a Roach Ball from a Zerg, you can knock those lemons down in just a few seconds, as long as you bring a Harvester with you.
If you get that sweet, juicy map control, then you can also get it.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Scouts don't just grow on trees; they grow on sentries, and it takes 100 energy to get that that hallucination up there. And this is the first scout.
That was a good one.
I'm trying, but
yeah, you succeeded. That was good.
But you know what? The thing is, he didn't know about this base until now, so he hasn't had any chance to gear up to pressure. And right now, Patient just thinking, oh wow, okay, he's got triple hatch before pool, and I didn't even do anything to him. And now I showed my Phoenix, so I can't surprise him either. Yeah. He's not going to be able to get really any kills here. What is this?
Patience is just trying to eliminate as many Overlords and Queens as he possibly can, and he's already going for the first tier. We do not have a transfuse just yet, but in the end he has to go away. He did not eliminate anything. And yeah, that didn't really work out as he intended.
Yeah, I'm kind of shocked that he even lifted that Queen in the first place.
Yeah, he didn't have the numbers of Phoenixes.
It was 2 Phoenixes for a Queen while there was a Spore Crawl about to finish.
Yeah,
now this attack, on the other hand, by ground, I like a lot more. It's going to force, at very least, units to be made. The Spine Crawler is going down.
Yeah.
He's actually coming up here with a pretty good force. There's really no Zerg units on the ground except Queens.
If he can the Strawberry the third base here, that would be amazing for him. Then he would take a huge lead in the economy. For now, he's focusing on the Queens, though. Taking down another one. The Zerglings still trying to find the edge here. And it is, I mean, these Phoenixes, they definitely lift.
Yeah, they lift, man. And transfuses with left and right. Needs to actually get the Zealots over here. What is that sentry doing? I mean, this is actually just...
Panic is hitting a few too many buttons. Now he's taking down another Queen. He's trying to, but there comes the transfuse once again. But he really could have done a little bit more with the Phoenixes. He takes out 2 Queens in the process, but right now the army supply is still better for the Protoss player. He's moving in, lifting another Queen, going for it immediately. And now he has the numbers. Can take down another Queen, and that really eliminates a lot of them. The numbers for Pet's Queens are growing, and that limits his production.
Yeah, you know, honestly, I gotta say, like a fruit left out too long, this strategy is becoming rotten very quickly, as there's just no real way for him to continue to do damage. Yes, he picks off a Queen, but, well, actually, he only has 1 Queen left. Did he not start any additional ones during this battle? Let me see that production tab. I want to see that.
I think he started another one, but he killed so many of them already, and that really helped him, just limiting the production of his opponent. But now we have Zerglings still roaming the map and trying to go for the natural. Problematic is that in the main base, those Phoenixes are still active and just waiting for units to make a wrong move.
Well, worker count dead even, which is always good for a Protoss. The Phoenix control we've seen here has always been like a little bit questionable. Not terrible. He's not losing a ton of his Phoenixes, Nice wall here.
Yeah, Philly's overdoing it a little bit with the lifts. He was trying to do a few of the lifts to make sure that there are no transfuses, but it didn't really work out with the damage that he was dishing out. But he's really committing to the Phoenix count. He has 8 already, and they are doing a lot at the top right, especially since the Hydralist numbers are just not there yet. Now slowly and steadily they're trickling in, and now one of the Phoenixes gets left behind here. Not an Ohana moment here.
I feel like some of these warp are a little bit questionable.
The wall
as
is
well.
broken, and the
wow.
Lynx in the main base. Pet is on a roll.
He recalls his mothership core back, and he has 200 energy, so he can actually instantly photon overcharge. So that's kind of useful for him here, but the Lings are actually just going to target down probes, and those Hydras need to go home, that's for sure. But I gotta say, like, some of the warp-ins we saw with those Zealots were just, he should have just made sentries. Instead, I almost feel like he was using the minimap to warp in, because you can actually do that, and he was trying to micro his Phoenixes, then, like, you know, warp in some Zealots on the minimap to try to help out. There's so many Hydras now, 18, with a few more on the way. He can actually just deny a third base so easily right now, and the Phoenixes aren't going to be able to do a thing about it.
There's just nothing that really counter those Hydralists. That's the big problem that he has. The Phoenixes alone are not going to do anything here, and the Colossi that he has right now doesn't have range, so the Hydralists will be able to go up against the Colossus if need be. As long as there's only one, it's not going to be an issue. The Phoenixes are finding a pretty sweet spot to kill at least a few Harvesters, but still, control not the best here, losing one of the Phoenixes in the process.
These Hydras are losing their value very fast because that Colossus is ripe for the picking and will come out of the bay very soon here. And once he has 1 or 2 of those, then the third base can be taken. And with all the drone losses, then that kind of starts out up. And I like this. Okay, so this is one way you can definitely make use of the Hydras right now.
Yeah, now he can go for the lemons. He's going to demonstrate what Fruitland is all about, and of course going to harvest that here immediately. Here we go.
Yep. Sliced lemon.
Yeah, now actually we have that sliced lemon patch once again. I think the graphics change sometimes.
Yeah.
Different versions of the map.
I think
the
it's
piece
being
that it harvests is always the same, but like this part is a bit different.
Yeah, I think it's just sometimes a graphical bug may occur. Or maybe actually we have like the Korean like parental guidance on, like some children aren't allowed to see those lemons, so they actually have that version on.
Too brutal.
Well, you know, the Hydras are just trying to find that third Nexus. Every time they go out there, they're like, well, it's not there, so I guess just gonna go and take the other lemon.
I mean, the parental guidance, I mean, if that was strawberries, I could kind of get it, but with lemons, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm feeling you on that, man. Well, I gotta say, like, the brutality here, the lemon brutality, just is not appropriate for all audiences. The contents of this stream are for mature audiences only.
Sliced lemons are not for everybody.
No. Well, don't get me started on cherries, but the Corruptors here are actually helping out against the Phoenix. That one Corruptor trying to take on all of them by himself. Might want to reconsider. Gonna help out against the Colossi a lot here too.
In army supply 98 by now for the Zerg player, really starting to get the edge, and of course with the additional income that he has now thanks to the lemons that he just harvested, that is just going to continue. He's starting up at bank, and I mean his income per minute jumped up to 3,800 for a second when he collected those 2 slices. That is something that he can just now put into additional upgrades. He already has speed for the Hydralist, he has the range upgrade, and he's going for it. He sees that third base and he wants to take it down.
Yep. And finally, he can really make use of those Hydras. He will get the base, but he may lose his entire army in the process. Let's find out. Time Warp goes down on these Hydras. The Nexus is gone. And he's got Void Race here. We all know how those work. They're killing the Corruptors so quickly. The third Colossus comes up with its flank, shooting at 3 roaches. That's not how you want to do it.
Yeah, the first Colossus goes down and the rest of the Void Race is actually already eliminated. So now suddenly we have the Corruptors moving in, taking down the remaining Void Race and the Colossi. And I don't know, but Patience is looking pretty dead in the waters here. He's trying to do whatever he can, but his third base is already gone. We have a 4th for the Zerg. And even though Pet has to retreat, he's looking great in the game.
What is that Queen doing here? One transfuse goes down. That was, you know, she knew the risks involved. Hive is started here. And, I mean, what is he going to do? What is Patience going to do here? Cancel on the Nexus again.
I don't think he has a lot of options.
Well,
He's down, like, he's at half the supply. Hive Tech has been started. +2 attack is about to be completed. The army supply, it's tripled. Like, 34 to 112. Good luck with that.
Those Hydras that were dancing over there weren't even seen by anybody except us. Dancing the Corruptors. Never seen that before. GG.
GG and game. Pet takes the series or the match, the map, and therefore we go in a tie situation between AZUBU and StarTale.
Yeah, 1-1. Well, what a fantastic game we saw there. Both lemons taken. Third Nexus is way too late for Patience, who spent way too much time trying to focus on his Phoenixes, which only in certain situations really worked out for him. So that was kind of a... That was just kind of a funky game that we saw.
Yeah, I mean, so far, I mean, in general, just I have to say that everything that Patience did there, he had a plan, but it just didn't really work out for him. Especially when we saw the Phoenix micro against the Queens at the beginning, and that was a crucial time in the game. It looked like he messed it up a little bit. He was trying to hit the timing so that the Queens couldn't be transfused, so that he could take down all of them, but every single time one of the Queens dropped, he could use the transfuse, save another Queen, dragged it out a little bit. The Phoenixes were running out of energy. He didn't have the ground army there to support them immediately. So I feel that was one of those pivotal points in the game where if everything would have worked as he wanted to, he could have taken so many Queens down, done so much damage, and then just make his way towards that third base and put pressure on them.
It feels like there was a build there, there was an idea, like you could kind of see the skeleton, but it never fleshed out. I mean, the build is clearly lacking in vitamin C or something, because, I mean, when you see the first two Phoenixes come in, you're like, okay, well, his idea is to kill Queens, and two Phoenixes lift up one Queen, the Sport Call is already 3/4 done, you're looking at it and you're like, does he think this is actually going to accomplish anything? Because it's not.
I mean, even later, he moves in, he takes down 3 of the Harvesters, and is just in range of a Spore Crawler, so he wants to just move one of the Phoenixes back. He misses the Phoenix Phoenix dies and kind of negates all the damage that he did before, so that was definitely a bit of a big issue there. If you commit to 8 Phoenixes, you need to do something with them.
The third base was so late, and there were always Hydras ready to pressure that, but it never happened. And he was always looking around with the Hydras like, I'm going to stop at third base, I think. Where's that third base? He's not making it. I'm just going to take lemons, so I get 1,000 minerals, and he doesn't have the mineral income from that third base because it doesn't exist. Kind of a weird, shaky mid-game there for Patience. Try to go Colossi, and...
Yeah, I mean, the next game is going to be like quite interesting, and it's also going to be in the same matchup. I'm not quite sure if I screwed up the order here, but I think the third match is actually Boom Boom versus Avenge.
I think so, yeah.
Or that might be the fourth, Life versus Senna. I think one of them is third, one is fourth. I'm not quite sure which is exactly the next match that we're going to have here. But I think.
But we'll have both for sure.
Yeah, we'll have both for sure. But I think Avenge was actually the first player. So that would be another Protoss versus Zerg. We have a Protoss versus Zerg and then a Terran versus Zerg. And these two games are going to determine a lot.
Yeah.
Everyone expects Life to take it versus Senna, even though Senna is a good player. This is one of those things where people say, okay, Life just came back from IEM and he won the whole thing, so he can definitely take a map of Senna. But it is a matchup where you can, or just a format where you can prepare a specific map, and Senna arguably had more time to prepare for this particular game.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys just saw behind us on the Korean screen, there was a shot of Patience who looked like really upset. And you can see Pet as back there as well, just kind of looking not really affected. But Patience was like really nervous in the booth. He was like, his palms are sweaty. You could see him, wiping on his pants. He was like going like this the whole time in the booth. Like, this guy's clearly got some nerve issues. Even if he's ironed a few of them out, there's definitely some residue there.
I mean, we're going to head into the next game. This is the third game, of course, here at the GSTL between StarTale and AZUBU. So far, the series is tied, and I'm completely honest with you, I have no idea what they're talking about. Like, the players should be chosen by now, and maybe they know something that we don't, but the players are already in the lobby and waiting for the game to start. We haven't even announced them yet. I feel we have the shots on the bench before we're going to start and head into anything else.
That's a good prediction. I think you're probably right.
This is one of those moments when I just want to have a lemon to throw it over there and be like, okay, come on, hurry things up here. I want to see at least who's playing. If I was right with Avenger, if it's actually the live game that's going to happen next. And that's the case. It's live, so that gives us at least something to talk about.
Yeah. Well.
I say it and you are just silence, nothing.
I'm just saying, we talked about a lot of things for the last game already, but this one going forward is going to be. A lot of people are saying, like you said, that Life is going to take this one easy peasy. I mean, he's an IEM winner, and he's won a bunch of other things too. I mean, he just wins, and like wins again. But is he jet lagged? What's going on with him? How is his condition? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, not only that, like, how much did Senna prepare a specific build for this map? I don't think that he's really going... I mean, he might go up into a standard game against his opponent, but this is one of the matches where you can actually really prepare, because Live did not have the same preparation time. And Senna is a good player. He has showed that in the last team matches that he played here, and also in the individual league. But this is one of those crucial games. I feel if all the matches go as expected, we will have a very long day here and go into the ace match. But if, for example, Senna suddenly causes an upset against Life, we might have a very different outcome today.
Yeah. Well, just looking at Senna, look at his last GSTL match. He's only played 4. He's 3-1. And that just goes to show that even though he doesn't come out too often, when he does come out, he shines. He was a player who, right before TSL disbanded, was looking like he was going to actually be a Code S player, a big contender as a Terran. He was done well at a lot of overseas tournaments. He's a really, really strong player. When he left TSL, of course, after the disbanding, a lot of teams were talking about picking him up. I heard rumors that MVP was going to pick him up. I heard rumors that StarTale was going to pick him up. Then he just never got picked up for a while until suddenly AZUBU grabbed onto him, and a really great pickup. So nicely done by AZUBU, and he's actually gotten them 3 wins already.
The thing with Senna is that we do not know a lot about his Terran versus Zerg in the recent past. Like, he was a strong player, but most matches that he played in Heart of the Swarm offline were simply against overseas players, and they don't really count when you're up against the Koreans suddenly, and against one of Life's caliber at that. So we're going into the game number 3 here at the GSTL between Life and Senna. Let's see which team is able to take the lead here. The GSTL, Color Wolf.